Following the success of Adam Reynolds at the Broncos...
Queensland sports reporter Michael Atkinson, aka Acco, has bravely signed up for the mission.
Young Care puts us through this so that we get like a snapshot of what it's like to live a life without choosing the way we want to live. So we literally become foot soldiers for the cause.
And Brendan Bolton, a Sydney local who works for Suncorp, has also taken on the challenge, encouraged by the partnership Suncorp has with Young Care.
Working in motor accident and workers' compensation, you see how life changes in an instant for people. They don't often have control over what happens to them, and suddenly their whole future is not what they were planning for. And so Young Care, by giving people back some control, is an organisation that I was really happy to support and walk for 10 days for.
I didn't really know a great deal about Young Care before I did it. I didn't know, how big of an issue it is in Australia that thousands of young Aussies with high care needs are ending up in inappropriate support residences or, facilities that aren't tailored to them. And I've learnt that now. And you really get attached to it and you really want to drive to make a difference.
I've witnessed my grandparents going through the aged care system, and it's definitely to think that a young person would spend their entire life in an aged care home just really, really affected me. And I think I was very happy to do the trek, take on the challenge, but also raise money to avoid that, because it's in a rich country like Australia, it just shouldn't happen.
The thing that appealed to me most was the trek itself. At first I felt bad about that. I sort of took it on for selfish reasons, and it really hit home when my eldest sister, I told her that I was doing it. It turns out that a good friend of hers from school, someone she lived with after school in a share house, a couple of years after they weren't living together anymore, went out on the town with his friends, as most people in their 20s do. So the next day he didn't wake up, and his friends were obviously quite concerned. They couldn't wake him up and they called emergency services. He'd had a serious accident. He was left with a severe disability, something he has to live with for the rest of his life. He was actually one of the first people to benefit from Young Care. And that hit home because, not so much because there was someone that was 1 degree of separation away, but it was because I've been that 23-year-old kid before and just been really fortunate that I haven't had a massive accident. So that's when the Young Care cause really started to connect for me, and I thought, this isn't about me anymore, this is about helping other people out there, and Young Care is doing a fantastic job at doing that.
These two guys who live thousands of kilometres apart are taking themselves out of their comfort zone and preparing for a once-in-a-lifetime experience, hundreds of k's away from their home, to head to the heart of the Australian desert.
Great way to start the day with the Simpson Desert training.